Hi, this is Bill. Today I want to show you a tool inside of Google Docs that may help you gather information online. I've talked about it in the past and I made a video about how to do search, but in this case I want to talk more about a specific tool inside of Google Docs. It's called the Google Docs Research Tool. Now this isn't necessarily new, but they've made some changes recently. So I have a Google Doc open here, and what I want to do is I'm going to come right up here to Tools in my menu, and the first option that I have is called Research. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Research, and that's going to open up this side panel or sidebar over here on the right. Now, there are a number of different things you can do here, but let me show you basically how it works. So right here I have a Google search. Now, if I just type in here, professional learning communities, and do my search, I'm going to get a number of different results over here on the right hand side. Now, each of these results are basically just a Google search. But what's cool about this now is, let's suppose that I know that Richard Dufour and Robert Eaker have done a lot of stuff around professional learning communities, and they are an organization, or this is a publication that I'm going to probably want to save to go back and do my research with. So I can roll over this, and the first thing I can do is click right up at the top here where it says Web, click on that, and that's going to take me to the actual document. This particular one is on ERIC. Okay, so now that's one thing I can do. I can go and preview that document. Then, if I decide that this is what I want, I can insert this citation directly into my Google Doc, saving it for future reference. I can also, let me tab down a little bit, I can also cite that as a footnote. It's going to make a little superscript number 1, and then down at the bottom of my page it's going to have that same citation. Okay, so I've just cited that. Now that's an old school citation, and it's not something that I necessarily would use in my paper or my research findings, but it's definitely something that would allows me to gather this information into one spot. Okay, if I go down a little further, there's also web results, and one of them I notice here is all things PLC. All Things PLC I know is a reputable source. I can click on preview, and it's going to show me what that page looks like out on the web. Now at the same time, I have two other options. I can insert the link, which just puts a link on there with that URL right here, or again, I can do the citation. It's going to make a number 2 now, and down at the bottom here I have Things PLC 2007. Okay, that's when it was created, and then it tells the date that I accessed it. So that in and of itself is really beneficial for me, just to find information and pull it together. However, there's more that you can do with this. So one of the things that you can do is you can change the type of search that you're doing. The first type is everything. That basically is just the web, everything that's online, and that's what I searched for initially. But you can also do a search on images, and only images. So it will pull images from the web that would have to do something with, in this case, PLCs. The third one I'm really excited about, and that is Google Scholar. Google Scholar, if you've never been there, is an online repository of lots of articles and publications that are scholarly, that are oftentimes peer-reviewed, that you can do a search and do your research there. As a part of my grad class that I have been taking, I use this a lot, and this is where I go almost as often as I go to ERIC and other database sources. And then finally, the last one down here is quotes, and this just looks for a quotation or something that would have the search term that you're looking for in that. So there are 4 different ways to do, quote, research inside of Google Docs, and it's right here. You don't have to go out to another page. It's really beneficial for us. The other thing I want to show you, if I go back to my Getting Started page, down here at the bottom I also have a settings. And this is really nice because it allows me to change the citation format. I can do MLA, I can do APA, I can do Chicago. Now, Whether or not you like the fact that you can find information online and cite it immediately and you don't have to know the citing sources is less important than the fact that this may actually help your students cite sources. And anything that helps kids and adults cite sources, I think, is huge. So you can do that in the settings. This is a great little tool in terms of gathering information. Now, I would absolutely still encourage you to go through that research process and verify these sources and verify the information you're going to find in there. But simply the idea of being able to gather sources into one spot and then be able to go back through them, I think is huge. And it's all online, all in Google Docs, and it's something that you will, if you share this with a group or a project group, partner, collaboration, this is a really easy way for everyone to have the same information. So I hope that helps. You want to talk more about using the research tool inside of Google Docs or truly anything else inside of Google Docs, please let me know.